Hello, welcome back to my channel if you're new. Hi, this is my channel, I'm British Hellcat and I hope you are doing well. Please bear with me, I'm kind of working with natural light at the moment until I actually get some lights. I mean, you know me, I normally work with natural light. I've got a massive window behind me, so we're going to try and make this work. But if you follow my blog, which will be linked down below, I've already done a Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald review in written form, but I thought I'd give you guys a video form so I can stick it on my YouTube channel, because that's what we do on this channel. Speaking of, if you're not subscribed to my channel, hit the big red subscribe button down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. Hit the like button down below if you do like this video, and comment down below anything Fantastic Beasts or Hogwarts related. As you can see, I am a massive fan, or if you don't know, I am a massive fan, so I am willing to talk about anything and everything when it comes to Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts. So let's just get right on into the video. Firstly, I've got to talk about the controversial casting of Johnny Depp. Now, obviously there's a lot of negativity surrounding him at the moment, but I am not gonna lie to you guys, I've been a massive fan of his for years. Well, I mean, since I could walk and talk, basically. Since I was 3. It's been a long time since I've been a fan of him. I loved nearly every single one of his films. As you guys know, I'm also a massive fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, one of my favourite film series besides Harry Potter, of course. And obviously he plays Captain Jack Sparrow, who is literally the love of my life. So when I heard that he was going to be playing Gellert Grindelwald, I wasn't that bothered. In fact, I was a bit happy because, I mean, he's an amazing actor and he does eccentric characters very, very well, and that's who Gellert Grindelwald is. He's a very eccentric character. So that's why I wasn't that bothered, from my point of view, that he was doing this character, and obviously I hope he continues to be the character. Although, this being said, as much as I love him as an actor, there are some points that I have to just, you know, critique a little bit, because as great as an actor as he is, recently, and I'm talking about the newest Pirates of the Caribbean and in this, he's kind of slipping a little bit. And it was worse in Pirates of the Caribbean, but that's not what we're here to talk about. In this, I mean, there were moments where I was like, oh my god, yes, absolute acting skills, you go you. And then there were some points, especially when he was talking to Queenie, where it just seems so forced and robotic, and I'm just sat there like, this isn't right, okay? This is not what Gellert Grindelwald is supposed to be like. This is not Johnny Depp's usual. Something's not right here. But there are a couple of moments in the film where I'm like, this acting is crap. Basically, this acting is not this is not in keeping with the character, not in keeping with the storyline. What is going on? Secondly is the great big reveal at the end. It was said in many articles, many review, that the ending would split the fans in two. Into ones who liked it and into ones who didn't. I'm gonna let you guys guess which side I was on. I was on this side. I did not like it. I just don't think it made any sense. I thought, we've had 8 films before. If this was a completely new series, we've never seen Harry Potter before, this is how we got introduced to the Wizarding World, then yes, it could make sense. However, we have had 8 whole films, 7 books, and yeah, that doesn't really... I would think that we would have heard about Dumbledore's other sibling in it at least once. I mean, we heard Gellert Grindelwald, we heard of his other family members, but no, we've not heard of Credence, or whatever, I forget what his Dumbledore name is, but so he's a Dumbledore. First of all, it also makes no sense that he's so young. And then, which leads me on to Leta Lestrange's little backstory thing. She seems so broken up about it, about like her brother dying, because that's who we originally thought Credence was. We originally thought Credence was a Lestrange, which is how the Lestrange family line was going to carry on, because Leta dies, which means, and if she dies, then the entire Lestrange line dies with her, which we know isn't true, because hello, Bellatrix Lestrange, who married Rodolphus, I think his name is, who married a Lestrange and took his name. So we know the Lestrange line is not dead, so either Leta's not really dead, or she's got a hidden child somewhere, which makes no sense, because we saw the family line, and the family tree, and also, I have a feeling Newt, or the Scamander brothers would have known, okay? I have a feeling that would have come up at least once. So, I don't think so. The Lestrange line is dead. Then again, going back to the Dumbledore thing, this review's a little bit all over the place, but going back to the Dumbledore thing, Grindelwald could be lying. He could just be lying through his teeth, and this could not be true, and he could be Lestrange, or he might not even be either of them. Gosh knows who he is, but I just really hope he doesn't end up being a Dumbledore, because it would just make no sense. He's too young, and we haven't heard about him in any of the books and any of the films. So yeah, I wasn't a fan of that ending. I mean, Kim, she called it, she's like, oh my god, I bet he's a Dumbledore, and I'm starting thinking, he can't be a Dumbledore. And then, yeah, so that happened. So the big reveal, very controversial, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, I might be on the side of light. Usually if it's controversial, I tend not to be a fan in the films. It depends. I say that as though I'm like encompassing everything together. That's not necessarily true, but just when it comes to these major things, like controversial Marvel things, I tend not to like. But this is just too weird for me. It just doesn't make any sense for me. So let's talk about Queenie's betrayal for a minute. Where did that come from? Through the whole film, we kind of saw that she was drifting more towards Grindelwald after she met with him, well, after she was kind of forced to meet him, as it were. But she goes from hating him to being with him. And yes, the whole point at the beginning of the film was to say that he's got a silver tongue, and that he's very persuasive, and yes, Queenie is quite susceptible to stuff like that. However, all of this technically stems from the fact that Jacob won't marry her. Not love, like he's so in love with her that he won't marry her so she doesn't get put in prison. And I get it, it's the times, it's 1927, things were a bit different back then. But if you can still be together, you just can't get married. It's as simple as that. So all of this stems from that, and then she ends up going to the dark side and like having a complete meltdown because Jacob won't go with her because he's actually sane. So yeah, that was a bit out of the blue and extremely dramatic, so I'm not quite sure what was going on there. So yeah, as I said, speaking of dramatic, Lita's backstory, holy guacamole, that was bit much. But then what I would like to know, obviously she swapped the babies and she didn't really like her, so yeah, she swapped them, and then the other one died. How in the Merlin's beard did you manage to swap your brother with one of the most powerful, like, bloodlines? That is, if he is a Dumbledore. But then you've got to think, what is, that's either Dumbledore's mother, who then dies with the baby, that was supposedly Dumbledore, a Dumbledore, or a nanny who's with the baby. But like, why are they on this boat? I need an explanation. If this is so-called, if this baby is a Dumbledore, if Credence is a Dumbledore, then I'm gonna need explanation other than Lita swapped the baby just so happened to be there right across from them in the room. No, I don't buy that. Now, one of my major issues with this film, it seems like I'm saying all this negative stuff, but I genuinely did enjoy this film. Like, it was very entertaining, but it's just, like the X-Men films, there seems to be a lot of continuity errors. Specifically, in the timeline. Now this film is set in 1927, and the flashbacks for when Newt was at, I think Newt either started or was in Hogwarts in 1908, around that time. So the flashbacks are, yeah, quite a while ago. This second film is in 1927. So during the flashbacks, I would like to know how Professor McGonagall is alive. She was born in 1935, which you work out from her Pottermore account. This is like proven and stuff like that. She was born in 1935. So it's funny how she's teaching at Hogwarts in before 1927. Weird. I get it, they wanted to bring in a fan favourite, but at least do one that was alive during the time. For example, Nicholas Flamel. That makes sense that he was alive. I mean, he's old and frail and frankly quite annoying, but he was alive and he is the connection to the Harry Potters. I get it, they wanted to connect this more to the Harry Potters because you got Dumbledore in it, you're bringing Hogwarts back, and yeah, you got Nicholas Flamel and stuff, and we saw a glimpse of the Philosopher's Stone. I'm going to get onto Nicholas Flamel in a minute. So, yeah, born in 1935, she's somehow teaching at Hogwarts, and we know she took her father's name, who wasn't I don't know if he was a muggle or if he was a wizard, I can't remember that bit. But so we know for a fact that Professor McGonagall, some people saying, oh, it could have been a grandmother. No, it's not. It's not a relative of hers. They're claiming that this Professor McGonagall is the younger version of Maggie Smith's Professor McGonagall, as in Minerva McGonagall. That can't be her because obviously she's not born yet. So that was a glaring continuity error that just grates on my nose. That one especially, just so yeah, that really annoyed me. So Nicholas Flamel, he was relatively helpful, I suppose. I mean, not really. I get that he's old and frail and an alchemist and immortal and stuff like that. However, when you see a prophecy of crap going down at a tomb and you set off for the tomb way before anyone else, you should be there first. He doesn't get there until, not only until they get there, until they've confronted Grindelwald, listened to Grindelwald, confronted Grindelwald, fought Grindelwald, and then left. That's when he decides to turn up. No. First of all, ever heard of apparition? You can't do that anymore. Second of all, yeah, he's old, but seriously, you should have been there way before them. Useless. This all being said, as I said, I found this film very entertaining, but the fan in me is going, you're wrong. I love seeing obviously all the baby Nifflers. I love seeing the old Niffler when he limped over and to help with the blood pact. Actually, that is a good point, the blood pact. Now, the Mirror of Erise, or however you say it, is supposed to show what you most desire. And J.K. Rowling said in an interview, or on Pottermore, one of them, she said that Dumbledore would see his family alive again and him making up with Aberforth. That's not what this film depicted. This film depicted that he was using it like the pensieve and using it to see past memories, like him and Grindelwald making the blood pact and stuff like that, which I know is just to get to make sense of the necklace and to get the storyline moving. But use the pensieve then if you're not going to use. Why use the Mirror of Erise? What is the point? So yeah, that was another continuity error as far as the magic's concerned, as well as Accio. Now, J.K. Rowling has said that Accio can only be used on inanimate objects. Yes, there can be a physical, alive being attached to said object, but that is often dangerous because obviously it's going at the speed of light, so, you know. Newt literally says Accio Niffler. Last time I checked, Niffler's a magical beast, which means he is alive and breathing. So that should not be possible. Unless J.K. Rowling has forgotten her own rule, that should not be possible. But speaking of magical beasts, I was very happy to see the magical beasts again. I loved them, and I loved the fact that we saw Nagini as well. I think that's very, very interesting, and I can't wait to not that I can't wait, but like, I want to see when she permanently turns into a snake, what that's going to be like. I wonder if we're going to learn in the future Fantastic Beasts films when she meets Voldemort. Thought that would be very interesting. So, as I said, entertaining film, but very, very inaccurate, which really annoys me, because J.K. Rowling obviously wrote this and she like aided with it, and it's like, you wrote the books, you helped, like, you okayed the films, you wrote the first Fantastic Beasts. Why are there such large continuity errors and such large inaccuracies and irrelevant things just because you want to attach it to the like Harry Potter films? I don't get it. I mean, it was, as I said, the ending was a bit of a disappointment, and these inaccuracies are just too large for me to not mention. And it's a shame because it kind of ruins it in the fact that it was a good film, and it was good old Wizarding World fun with all the magic, the fighting, and Newt's awkwardness, which is cute, and good old-fashioned dueling. But yeah, the inaccuracies, they're just ruined it, and it's such a shame. That's been me. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to hit the thumbs up down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button down below if you're not subscribed to my magical, wonderful family already. It should be down here somewhere. There should be a bell next to the subscribe button. Hit that so you can be notified of when I do upload. So my reviews sometimes come a bit randomly, otherwise it's Tuesdays and Fridays. My blog will be linked down below. That is always uploaded every Monday and Wednesday. But keep an eye on that, follow it, you know, all that jazz. And comment down below what you thought of this film and what you thought of all the inaccuracies. And I will catch you guys in the next video.